I ride slow, and when I pass, they say, "What up, killer?" Man, stop bringing up my past. And next time you mention Pac, Biggie, or Jay Z, don't forget Weezy, baby. Twitter sounds like a Martian or something. Who? Nikki, fuck you. Where's the middle finger? Middle finger. I don't have to listen to ACC pressure. What y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about ACC Media Days? Southside Cardinal 89. No, we're not going to have a good show. We're going to sit around and talk about ACC Media Day and conference commissioners. They purposely doing that to sabotage, as usual. As usual. DeWall Beats. What's good? Ellis dunk off a great pass from Brandon Huntley Hatfield. No, that's impossible. That is absolutely impossible. Because listen, because Ellis is the only person that's allowed to pass. You mean you? I mean, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to have a big man pass it to a slashing guard. That's illegal. Everybody knows that's illegal. There's only one person allowed to dribble. You hear me? Oh yeah, just yeah, they can hear you, Steve. So
Oh,
don't say anything. Don't offend any group
oh,
in
I was
particular.
about to. I was about to.
Mm. Okay, so which one's the water?
This one? Fresh H2O.
That's some high quality
Yeah.
ATL.
What is this?
What do you want me to do with that? Because you know where I'm going with that.
Claim racism.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is gonna stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna stop.
Uh,
Yeah, this is gonna stop today. Mm. Uh, Jocelyn, good morning. Why can't we get in a conference with the competent commissioner? South side. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Because I do always need. I like interacting with real humans and not the bots. He got up on that rim pretty easy, didn't he? Very nice pass by Brandon Huntley Hatfield. Good morning, Catherine. Where you going, Jocelyn? Where you going? Oh. What, East End? We are gonna go hang out with Steve. St. Louis, yeah, St. Louis. This nice little trip though. TBT. Y'all remember we was trying to get a team in the TBT? But it's not Louisville, Kentucky. Fair enough. Am I gonna have a sandwich today? Ain't you pretty and wait a minute. What happened with what? What am I even? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, TBT. That's what I was talking about. I don't know. But I see it's coming back around. Steve, whatever happened to the TBT? You still want a Louisville team in the TBT? Or now you don't give a piss? We gave it a good shot. It didn't work.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of the things, like, if they did it, cool. I think it would have flamed out, kind of like, unless you were having it here. Now, if you could get the games here,
like a Bellarmine,
or something, like, I think then, people would rally around it. But if not, I think it'd be one of the things.
Did they say that we can't get in because Russ Smith ain't playing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that what they did with us?
Pretty much. I'm reading this article from Travis Branham.
Anything good?
Says, disregard anything you may have heard that didn't come from DJ Wagner in the last 3 weeks. The five.
Wait, people can hear you, Steve. Say that out loud.
Okay.
You want to shut this door so you can say that loud? Hey, everybody, this is pre-show meeting. Listen.
This is 247.
Listen.
Behind the paywall.
Behind the paywall.
Disregard anything you may have heard that didn't come from DJ Wagner in the last 3 weeks. The five-star combo will not be announcing his college decision at Peach Jam this week. No, I'm not committing any time this week, Wagner said of the rumors, suggesting he might possibly commit this week. I'm taking it one day at a time and taking my time with it. I know I am definitely not committing this week, though, for sure. In an exclusive 247 Sports, an exclusive with 247 Sports, he spoke about his experiences of winning a recent gold medal, updated his thoughts on the Louisville and Kentucky programs, and readdressed the next steps in his recruitment. The gold medal, he says, was awesome.
Obviously.
Yeah, he enjoyed doing that. Talking about the European game, says it's a different pace. They slow the game down. So he kind of struggled a little bit with how to.
Yeah, it's goofy.
Because he struggled over there a little bit, so he was saying it was just different. It's been a big year for Wagner. First winning Camden's first state championship since his father played, winning gold not 2 weeks ago, and now he's looking for the Peach Jam title. Just come in here and take it one game at a time, play hard y'all don't care what he's doing at Peach Jam. There were rumors that Wagner could announce at Peach Jam, but he told 247 those rumors were not true. And the plan he communicated in Spain with his recruitment is still the plan today. No, there hasn't been anything major or serious that has changed. Wagner told 247 he's taking his time with the decision, making the process, and plans on taking more college visits. No.
That means people lied.
Yeah.
You know what that means? That means somebody literally just lied. And when Steve and myself said we were disappointed with, I'm not going to say you, but normally I'd be pointing into the camera saying you, but all y'all are cool. But everybody else around y'all who went ape shit over this, they just lied to you. And there is no repercussions for just lying.
On Kentucky, he says, it's a great program. I'm a fan of college basketball, so that's a great program. I have known that program all of my life. On Louisville, it's the same relationship as before with KP. That's my family. That's good people. He's like family. I've known him my entire life. So it's just the same as it's always been. He just wants me to make the best decision for myself and enjoy this process. The next time these mother overreact on Twitter, I'm gonna cut my hand off on the midnight show, and I'm gonna make y'all watch it. And I'm not talking to you guys, because the people watching this right now, you are loyal, you're like us, you love the fan base, but you're gonna suffer if you don't stand up next time, because I'm gonna cut my hand off on the midnight show.
Typical.
I'm on the midnight show. I'm gonna take a butcher knife and I'm gonna just cut my hand off.
Did you see in John Wick when he had to sacrifice his ring finger to get back into the game?
Yeah.
He just took the little thing right there.
Yeah.
Jay!
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll join you. I'll just do a ritual sacrifice of my finger. Just give me a stone, Steve.
Yeah.
And a chisel. Just leave it there too.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Let him take the ring off the finger of my ring.
Yeah.
There you go. Is this proof enough?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Is this proof that I'm committed to the cause? Did you read that, Steve?
I did.
Did y'all hear that?
He went, I mean, he asked me about a couple other schools. The other school, I mean, he literally says, because Auburn and Arkansas are talking to him. Auburn, you want to know what he said about Auburn? They're just telling me to enjoy the process, have fun with it, and telling me that they're interested.
Yeah, we'll see you at the finish line.
Yeah, look, he's Arkansas. He just encouraging me, telling me to have fun and keep working hard. Stuff like that. Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah. Stuff like that.
I'll see you at the finish line. Either our bag will be good enough or not. That means people lied to you, y'all. That means they made up something. Somebody told you a commitment this week. They lied. They lied on his name. You can't read that on air, though, can you?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I can paraphrase. I could read the Kentucky Louisville stuff. I wouldn't read Travis's whole article, but
yeah, okay.
I wouldn't do what it just did there, but yeah.
Okay, what about saying
that he's not? Yeah, I can give a.
Yeah, he said, "I'm absolutely not committing."
Yeah.
Will you read the title? Disregard anything you heard in the last 3 weeks?
Yeah. Okay. But we can't get to that because we have to play Jim Phillips for 45 minutes.
What the fuck is wrong with Nikki?
Oh no, he's mad about something. All right,
they can hear you, Nikki.
Oh yeah, never mind. Put that off because we're gonna kick somebody's ass. I'm ready. Love you guys. Okay.
Nikki, you're too good looking of a guy to come in here looking like you look.
Dude, I need a haircut. That's basically.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, it's the haircut.
No, Nick's really gonna kick somebody's ass.
No, I'm not gonna.
That we're kicking somebody's ass. Well, you can't use words like kick somebody's ass with me and then say we're not really kicking their ass.
I appreciate it.
I was like, let's go.
Nikki, I was like, go get a haircut.
I was like, did somebody mess with you that? Are we gonna go whoop somebody?
Where do you get your haircut at?
Go.
Usually just screen clips up there.
Uh-huh. When are you going?
Tonight. I mean, this is
you need a fresh.
I was thinking about growing it back out, but the problem is that little in between period is just
let it grow, but just go get it. Go
train.
Yeah, get a beard or something. I'm listening.
Can they still hear?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, little quick note.
Oh, sorry. No,
Pardon me.
Extended
Here's what Aaron Bradshaw has to say about Louisville, Kentucky.
All of a sudden.
Kentucky. What stood out to me was the coaching. I really love how Coach Cal does his workouts. It's my type of workout, like fast-paced intensity, hard work, and just getting after it shows on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what he says about Louisville? It's literally the same thing as Kentucky. But what Kenny Payne does is he brings the reality out of players. You're not going to be dribbling the ball your entire life. And he brings reality like basketball, like after basketball. That really caught me. I hate Twitter. In the meantime, I got to get on Twitter like, is coach's staff even doing anything?
Oh my God. That reminds me. Jason took your soundbite I cut and increased the pitch. You sound exactly like Butters.
That's hilarious.
I'll play that later.
That's awesome. That's
Jason
awesome.
did. It's amazing. I mean, seriously, it's Butters. You are Butters.
Oh, that's amazing.
Why Nikki come in the room looking like a man child? Messy hair and swinging his arms. Is Nikki growing dreads? Tell Nikki, tell him stop cutting his hair, just comb it. So Bradshaw House on Graph too. That was on Travis Graph as well.
Oh, shocker!
I'm listening.
Yeah, that was Brandon too. Can they hear me on this?
Yes.
Okay, I'll wait then.
Oh, hold on.
Amazing teams.
From including our all new hot garlic wings.
Just talking, I guess.
It's going to be an hour-long presser, so I mean,
Why didn't
PCPest.com/careers. Way back in 1860, Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery founder Charles Nelson introduced the world to the pleasures of Tennessee whiskey. A century and a half later, his great-great-great-grandsons have resurrected the family business and its finest creation, the original Tennessee whiskey.
all right, here we go, fellas.
Whiskey, now available in Kentucky for the first time since Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee Whiskey. We hope you'll agree it was worth the wait. Please enjoy responsibly.
That's his thing. They don't get back. Hayward's look at this steal. Here's the steal. 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Oh my goodness. Marcus Maven. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor. Hops incredible. Here comes Maven off the steal. Oh my goodness.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus.
Music's playing.
You about midway to the mid.
Today ain't the day.
And I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven. Break it down like this. Woo!
From the OPC Pest Services Studio.
Hey, they did like propose. Oh, my bad.
93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven.
Can you hear me?
Image.
All right. Yeah, all right.
You're not plugged in. I don't have headphones.
Yes.
Do you guys just want me to throw to it?
Still can't hear you. I don't even know.
All right.
My headphones are in the truck.
All right, it's middays with Marcus Maven. 8150-93.9, the call-in number. Made for the Ville, the YouTube channel. We're going to start the show off going to ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips' press conference. It's on ACC Network now. And yeah, take it away,
Good
Jason.
morning and welcome to this year's ACC football kickoff. It's terrific to be back together as we look ahead with great anticipation to the upcoming ACC football season. And thank you for making the effort to come to Charlotte and taking an interest in our outstanding football student athletes and coaches. It's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last 18 months, and I'm grateful for our ongoing relationships. The entire ACC family and those associated with this tremendous league have been so wonderful to me, Laura, and our 5 children. I'm fired up that Laura's here, our oldest Luke is here, and our youngest, so the engine of the train and the caboose are both with us. So Luke and James, great to have you here with me and everyone else in attendance. In the days ahead, I look forward to spending time with you. As much as we can talk about ACC football, I'm ready. When you combine our incredible student athletes, world-class institutions, broad-based sports offerings, and our commitment to maximizing the educational and athletic opportunities for students. The leadership at our 15 schools remains second to none, and I'd like to thank the ACC Board of Directors, led by Duke President Vince Price, the athletic directors, faculty athletic reps, and senior women's administrators who continue to build upon the ACC's long history of balancing academics, athletics, and integrity at the highest levels. In a few minutes, we'll look ahead to the upcoming football season, and I'll make sure to address some of the topics in the news recently. Right now, though, let's look back at the phenomenal year it was for the ACC. No other conference won more NCAA national championships than the ACC. The league's 7 titles matched the conference's record in an academic year. Additionally, ACC student athletes won 20 NCAA individual titles. Beyond the 17 championships, 8 additional ACC programs competed in the national semifinals, 2 for a national championship, and 3 teams had to face another league team in either the semifinals or finals. Over the entire academic year, 12 of our schools captured either an ACC or NCAA title, and 11 programs finished ranked either first or second in the country in their respective sports. Academically, the ACC continues to lead the country. For the 15th consecutive year, the league has led the way among all football bowl subdivision conferences in best colleges rankings by U.S. News and World Report, with 3 schools ranking in the top 25 and 7 in the top 40. In December, the NCAA released its annual graduation success rates, which also demonstrated the ACC's collective high level of academic success. Beyond the competitions in classrooms, the league's ongoing work in racial and social justice, health and safety, and professional development continue to shine. In September, our league announced the inaugural ACC Unite Award, which will be presented annually and was created to honor individuals affiliated with the league who have made an impact in the areas of racial and social justice. An initiative of our Committee for Racial and Social Justice, which we affectionately call CORE, the inaugural recipients included the first male and female athletes of color to integrate the athletic teams at each of our 15 institutions. The league's commitment was also highlighted during the second annual Fall, Winter, and Spring Unity Weeks, which provides a meaningful way for the conference to highlight our collective commitment as part of CORE's mission. Culminating the CORE initiatives for the year was the truly transformational and educational experience that took place this past weekend. More than 45 ACC student athletes, administrators, and conference office staff took part in a journey to 2 of the centers of the civil rights movement in Selma and Montgomery, Alabama. This amazing experience was highlighted by a march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, site of the 1965 Bloody Sunday attack. It's hard to describe the powerful emotions felt throughout the entire weekend. To be certain, it was a humbling experience and a career highlight to receive a key to the city from Mayor of Selma, James Perkins. It was most comforting to me, though, to be surrounded by our younger generation who is committed and energized to carry on the necessary work in pursuit of true equality. This past May, the ACC Health and Safety Summit was held in partnership with the ACC Sports Medicine Association, bringing together our campus professionals to collaborate and share best practices. It was an outstanding event that not only benefited the attendees, but more importantly, will have a positive impact on our 10,000 student athletes. To further raise awareness of mental health and wellness, we used a series of 28 men's and women's basketball games as part of the 2021 ACC Big Ten Challenge to amplify the importance of mental health and to help break down stigmas related to it. Additionally, the ACC provided access to the Calm meditation app to every student athlete, coach, and administrator in the league. The ACC's responsibility to enhance the overall development of our student athletes and coaches was evident through a series of programs this year. In December, the first cohort of Coaching the Whole Athlete Academy was completed. The 8-week virtual immersive development program established by our office equips coaches with tools to better support the modern-day student athlete. The ACC's Professional Development Academy finished up a few weeks ago and featured student athletes coming together as a part of a 4-week program. The Academy's curriculum, designed and delivered by league administrators, assisted participants in establishing and refining skills for long-term success in their lives. As you can surmise, there's no greater priority than the success and development of these brilliant student athletes. We remain committed to our mission of providing the highest quality experiences and opportunities for them, as well as for our coaches and staff. As everyone is aware, student athletes have rightfully been able to earn money related to their name, image, and likeness over the past year. It has provided some outstanding opportunities that we all celebrate. However, the lack of a single enforceable standard for NIL across the schools and all states has created an environment where inducements, inaccurately labeled as NIL, are disrupting recruiting. Fair regulation of recruiting is essential for fair competition. We all know NIL has upended recruiting, a result no one desired when it first came into effect last July. How did it happen? NIL rules differ from state to state. Regulation is nearly non-existent. Enforcement of the rules is incredibly challenging. The ACC student athletes that make up our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, who are here in the room today, continue to engage with members of Congress on finding a regulatory solution that is national in scope and fair while still allowing for outstanding opportunities. I'd like our SAC group to stand up and be recognized this morning, if you will, please. As state legislators continue to seek recruiting advantages, and as legal challenges continue to chill the enforcement of rules, only Congress can provide consistent standards and the appropriate protection to implement what is ultimately passed. As you all know, June 23rd marked the golden anniversary of Title IX, and there's no question the historic legislation has positively impacted the lives of women and provided a pathway in their continued support of achieving gender equity in college athletics. We are proud to recognize and celebrate Title IX during the upcoming year, while also understanding that we have an ongoing responsibility to continue to further fairness and equity for women. For Laura and I, our daughter Meredith, a current college soccer student athlete, is a true beneficiary of this historic law. And I think a lot of you know my background, being raised one of 10 children. I had 6 older sisters that never had the opportunity that our young women have a chance now. As a conference, we're 1 year away from sponsoring 28 league sports with the addition of ACC women's gymnastics in 23-24. Our conference will sponsor 15 women's sports and 13 men's sports. Among our peer conferences, no league will sponsor more sports, and perhaps more importantly, we will lead in the number of women's offerings in the ACC. Broad-based programs and opportunities matter in college sports. As I mentioned earlier, our league continues to be blessed with tremendous leadership, and for the first time in ACC history, the chairs of the FARs, ADs, SWAs are all females. In addition, with 3 females leading their respective athletic departments, the ACC has more female ADs than our peer conferences combined. While we are certainly excited to be leading the way, there's still so much work to be done. Yet at a time when we are celebrating the games and women's participation, we are also defending those gains from real or perceived threats in college athletics. College athletics has faced criticism by some who forget that we field teams beyond football and men's basketball. College athletics happens within the context of higher education, on campuses that pride themselves on diverse offerings academically and in extracurriculars. Those who clamor for a pay-for-play system alone disregard the collegiate principles of diverse offerings. For decades, we have relied on the financial power of 2 sports that generate revenue to fund themselves as well as other sports, commonly referred to as the Olympic sports. Many of those Olympic sports student athletes only path to colleges through sport, yet they leave enriched for life. Our nation relies on these sports to fulfill spots on Team USA, which had nearly 80% current and former collegians on its last Summer Olympics roster. What happens to those gains from Title IX if Olympic sports cannot be supported? What happens to the Olympic movement that makes us all proud if those on-campus opportunities disappear? These are hard questions that must be considered as college athletics continues to change and evolve. College athletics is not perfect. It should and will be improved, but there has never been a better time to be a student athlete than right now. Having 2 in our own home, I think Laura and I see that firsthand. The future is bright, but we need to be diligent and stay focused as we address the threats to what is the sporting envy of the world, the uniquely American combination of academic and athletic development that is college sports. True NIL opportunities, universal support services related to academics, medical care, mental health, career development outside of sport, and the best coaches' facilities for their athletic development. Fundamentally, we are all responsible for the greater good of the enterprise. Let me repeat that. We are all responsible for the greater good of the enterprise. 500,000 student athletes. College athletics lives at a 3-way intersection of competition, education, and entertainment, and all 3 must exist in a balanced way. Education matters, winning matters, resources matter. The ecosystem is not dissimilar to our respective neighborhoods that we live in, and keeping them healthy and diverse is a priority. And there will always be a variety of communities, gated, upper class, middle class, or more modest. In times of great change, and that's a fair description of the last 25, 15, 10 years, and really the last 12 months, any new structure in the NCAA must serve many, not a select few. This includes national governance, media rights, membership, NCAA, CFP access, The list goes on and on. We are not the professional ranks. This is not NFL or NBA light. We all remain competitive with one another.
So you got to show it closer. They can't see it all the way. Well, don't let it let it focus. Yeah, and that's funny. It is pretty funny in the camera.
Someone think it was funny?
Okay, now I'm plugging back in.
A priority as we continue to evolve. I will continue to do what's in the best interest of the ACC, but will also strongly advocate for college athletics to be a healthy neighborhood, not a 2 or 3 gated communities. Resources may be different, but access, education, and competitive opportunity will remain the foundation going forward. From 1975 to 1985, the NCAA men's basketball tournament grew both financially and in popularity as it moved from 32 to 64 teams. This resulted in an event that continues to be embraced by college fans, media, student athletes, and coaches. We must acknowledge that this is a recipe and lesson college football may want to learn from, but do it in a way that is safe for those who play that sport. Access to championships is essential for all neighborhoods. We should keep this in mind as we try to balance education, competition, and entertainment in today's disruptive environment. As for ACC football, the reason nearly 700 of us have gathered, we welcome 4 new coaches into the league. Duke's Mike Elko, Miami's Mario Cristobal, Virginia's Tony Elliott, and Virginia Tech's Brent Pry. I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know each of them, and they are terrific additions to our outstanding group of coaches. As of today, we're only 5 weeks away, nearly 5 weeks away from kickoff. Week 0 kicks off for the ACC on August 27th, and from the 27th through Monday, September 5th, ACC football programs will play 14 games in 10 days, including 12 games over 5 straight days, beginning Thursday, September 1st through Labor Day. It will be quite a weekend for our conference, and I'm going to try to make every one of those games. The ACC's non-conference football scheduling continues to be the strongest in the country, with our teams playing 21 games against Power 5 opponents, 8 non-conference games against teams ranked in the final 2021 Associated Press Top 20 poll, and all 14 teams will play 1 Power 5 non-conference opponent, with 7 of our schools playing 2. There's no shortage of exciting games this season, and we appreciate our amazing television partners providing national platform for our fans. Speaking of television partners, we were thrilled in December to celebrate full distribution, making ACC Network available to nearly 90 million households. It was something we talked about right in this room last year, which was a real big concern for us. It was a milestone moment in the short history of the ACCN, and we appreciate the ongoing leadership at Disney, ESPN, and ACCN, especially Jimmy Pitaro and Burke Magnus. In partnership with the ACC Network, there continues to be a priority to increase football programming year-round. ACCN made its first ever road trip last August, visiting each football program on their respective campuses, resulting in 14 primetime shows featuring interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, tour of the facilities, and more. In a few weeks, ACCN will embark on this year's road trip, delivering even more access to our schools and amazing student athletes and coaches. ACCN's premier football program, The Huddle, took to the road last year with appearances on multiple campuses, the Subway ACC Football Championship game, and at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl down in Atlanta. This year, we are pleased to announce the ACC Huddle will be back on the road during the 2022 season. They will begin on week 0 in Chapel Hill, week 2 in Blacksburg, with several other additional stops around in the weeks and months ahead in the football season. During the offseason, ACC Network added significant football content, including a 2-hour primetime show to unveil the 2022 football schedule, the addition of all 14 spring games for the first time, and exclusive coverage of both signing days and our pro days, all firsts. We are thrilled that these initiatives will be ongoing and enhanced this year. In addition to the already celebrated priorities and successes, ACCN will launch a new afternoon show that will air weekdays. ACC PM, hosted by Mark Packer, who's going to be coming out of the Witness Protection Program since he last aired at the end of June, will debut from 4 to 7 on Monday, August 22nd. The show will have a football focus and deliver news and commentary from across the conference on a variety of areas. The ACC continues to work to enhance, elevate, and best position ACC football for the long term, and we have made progress in a number of areas. We appreciate deeply the tremendous work of our head football coaches, athletic directors, who give freely of their time to collaborate on football-specific matters. Those were 2 new groups that we started last year. Between the joint AD, head football coach subcommittee, and our football officiating subcommittee, we are constantly in connection with our programs and provided with tremendous insights. On the national level, the ACC has been significantly involved in changes that have been made, including deregulation of conferences football championship games, starting preseason camp earlier without adding practices to enhance the health, safety, and welfare of our football student athletes, adjustments to the signing limit and initial counters to give our coaches more flexibility in filling a complete roster of 85 scholarships. And as was announced this spring, Pitt AD Heather Like has been named the chair of the NCAA Football Oversight Committee, furthering the league's national leadership position. There's also been ongoing and meaningful work and dialogue among ACC head football coaches, ADs, compliance directors, and probably most important, team physicians regarding a 365-day college football calendar that was shared with the all 10 FBS conferences in Notre Dame earlier this year. We appreciate the conversation that continued to take place among our peers as we gather feedback to further refine the proposal and ultimately come together across all 10 FBS conferences and Notre Dame to find the right model that best positions college football at the FBS level. We look forward to the ACC football season culminating here in Charlotte with the 2022 Subway ACC Football Championship game. For a final time under the current scheduling model, the champions of the Atlantic and Coastal divisions will meet on the first Saturday in December at Bank of America Stadium, and we remain extremely appreciative of our relationship with the Charlotte Sports Foundation and the Carolina Panthers. Following our championship game weekend, we will continue to celebrate postseason with our 11 remarkable bowls that are here with us today. The Capital One Orange Bowl anchors our partnerships, and we are so proud of the memorable experiences bowls provide. College football bowls and bowl season matters to the ACC and the health and future of college football. Before providing some final comments related to the national landscape, let me highlight our recently announced ACC football scheduling model that begins next season and runs through 2026. The new model will include each team playing 3 primary opponents every year while facing the other 10 league teams twice during the 4-year cycle, once at home, once on the road. This will eliminate the Atlantic and Coastal divisions. I know some of you are very sad about that. With the top 2 teams now based on conference winning percentage competing in the Subway ACC Football Championship game. Overall, the future scheduling model provides significant enhancements for our schools and conference. But the most important being for our student athletes having the opportunity to play every school, both home and away, over a 4-year period. In closing, let me briefly address a few other topics. The ACC continues to be supportive of an expanded college football playoff. As you know, the ACC took what we believe was a necessary stance regarding last fall's CFP proposal. This was based on what we feel we must all come together to address before rushing into a new model. The implementation of a 365-day calendar, health and safety, and several other items that you know well. Engagement is ongoing with our schools and my fellow commissioners to chart a path forward prior to the expiration of the current CFP contract in 2026. We had 2 great meetings in April and in June. And I'm confident that our concerns and others' concerns will be addressed, and a new model with greater access will ultimately come to pass. We will do our part in the ACC to make it happen, but there's some more work to be done. It's been an honor to serve as a member of both the NCAA Constitution and Transformation Committees. Following the Constitution Committee's work from last August through January, the Transformation Committee then began its diligent work. We are in the process of examining many aspects of Division I college athletics, from championships to the role of the NCAA, from the infraction process to membership criteria. As you know, the committee has already made public several recommendations, and we expect more in the months ahead that could significantly change what we do and how we do it. This includes prioritizing the areas that involve the enhancement of the student-athlete experience, streamlining the NCAA rulebook, modernizing transfer rules, and implementing a timelier process in dealing with infractions cases. It's a privilege to serve alongside NC State Chancellor Randy Woodson on the Transformation Committee, and I'm proud that the ACC has a seat at the table in helping shape what comes next. Of course, the recent announcement of 2 Pac-12 schools pending move to the Big Ten in 2024 set off a flurry of conversations both inside and outside of our league. While I won't go into details of those conversations, I will tell you that while the ACC is strong, we are continually evaluating all options that could further strengthen our conference, and we are engaged in ongoing dialogue with our media partners. There's been a lot of rumors and speculation the last few weeks, and I understand we all want answers and certainty. With that said, these decisions will impact our member institutions and student athletes for years to come, and all options must be carefully evaluated. But today is all about ACC football, and I cannot wait for you to meet and speak with our outstanding schools, coaches, and student athletes. We have an exciting season ahead, as I've stated this morning, and I just want to again thank you again for your interest in the ACC and for your giving up some of your summer to be here in Charlotte. With that, I'm happy to take some questions.
Thank you. We've got a couple microphone holders in various places in the room. Please raise your hand, let us get you the mic, and we'll take your question. We're going to start all the way over here on our far left. Give us your name and affiliation, please.
Andrea Adelson, ESPN.com. Jim, I'll follow up with your last comments. How confident are you in the ACC's place right now in this landscape when you make comments about a 2 or 3 gated neighborhood, considering where the revenue gaps will continue to grow and where the ACC is right now?
Andrew, I want to maybe level set it, right? The last 20 minutes, I think you got a sprinkling about where the ACC is nationally. All metrics, we are one of the leaders in the country in all of those areas I talked about, except the revenue piece of it. And that's been brought to light with the recent move of USC and UCLA to the Big Ten. A year ago, we were talking about the same thing. And so truly over the last 18 months, it's been my primary focus. We were able to get distribution done. We have some other things coming forward relative to what we're going to do in partnership with some revenue consultants that I'm really excited about being able to release that maybe by the end of the month. We're looking at our TV contract. We're in engagement daily, I would just say almost daily, with our partners at ESPN. And I openly talk about ESPN because we are 50-50 partners on our network. And so they're motivated, we're motivated, and we've come together to have some discussions about what would be the next iteration for the ACC. Doesn't mean we're going to make a move, doesn't mean we're not going to make a move, but all options are on the table. Revenue is certainly one piece and a really big piece as we move forward. But I will say it again, we need all communities healthy. And I mean, when you think about where we're at right now, we're probably in the gated community as one of 5. Maybe people have a different line of demarcation about who's in there. It really doesn't take away from, we're going to continue to try to find new ways to generate revenue for our conference.
We're going to take our next question in the middle aisle off to our left. Luke? Luke, can you grab the mic? Hand up, please. Thank you.
Okay. Hey,
There you
Jim.
go.
Luke
Hi, Luke.
Peacock, Raleigh News and Observer. Just wanted to backtrack a little bit on the CFP stuff. You had said initially that there was basically too much going on in the NCAA world, the world of college sports, to consider that proposal. With the change in leadership eventually atop the NCAA, are you prepared to sort of disconnect those things now and pursue CFP expansion unrelated to sort of transformation? Because it seems like those things are going to move on different timetables.
We're making progress, Luke, with the transformation committee, and I think you're going to see something at the end of August that's pretty substantial with more work to be done. I think these things are walking along together, Luke, along with a new NCAA president. I don't expect us in September when we get together to line up and announce a new CFP structure. I think we've made great progress over our last 2 meetings, both in April and in June, and everybody's motivated to come together. So I don't know that there's a separation now with those things. We'll see. But I think the health and safety, the 365-day calendar review, I mean, we've talked about access, automatic qualifiers. I mean, there's a lot of things to discuss. But those things, again, Luke, I would tell you, I do not think have really separated that much.
Take our next question over here on the left on the aisle.
Mark Berman, the Roanoke Times. Jim, how concerned are you that the growing revenue chasm could kind of turn the Power 5 into a Power 2 with the Big Ten and the SEC way ahead revenue-wise of the ACC? And is expansion the only real solution to cutting that down?
I don't know that it's the only solution. I think you have to look creatively. We've been doing that over the last year. We're going to continue to do that. All neighborhoods need to be healthy. It's not good for college athletics if we're not. And again, you heard my reference earlier. We understand where those 2 leagues are. No one's ignoring that. And we're all trying to find ways to close that gap. So I know where our 17, or our 15 schools are. We are really aligned to try to find some solutions to that revenue gap. But it can't be at the expense of all the other things that we're doing. And so there's I think a really good plan for us as we move ahead. Again, considering all of our options. And in these kinds of times, you have to do that. This is unique, what's happened over the last 12 months. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, that was an error. 15 schools. Sorry about that. Just thinking about your expansion number.
Take our next question over here on the far right on the edge.
Eric Spanberg with the Charlotte Business Journal. Commissioner, you obviously have been in the midst of a search for a new headquarters. Can you give us an update on that? And also, the North Carolina State Legislature included incentive funds that would be dependent on having more championship events in the state of North Carolina. If that's what you end up doing, would you be willing to meet that mandate in order to receive the incentive money?
Yeah. The process has been tremendous. And I don't know everything you could put a timeline. It's such an important decision that you can't put a 3-month, 6-month, 8-month. We started last summer. It's been 12 months now. Newmark's led us incredibly well. We started with 18, 20 different cities. We have it down to 3 over 2 states. These things take a life of their own when you start to deal with state legislators and senators and economic development and mayors. And in the end, what we're trying to get down to this summer to finish it off is what are the 3 proposals to bring forward to the board? And the announcement by the state of North Carolina, awfully generous, and awfully generous of Governor Cooper to sign that legislation and pass the budget, will be part of what we present to our 15 presidents for a decision. And so we're hopeful to have a decision, I would say in the next month or 2, but I don't really want to put an artificial timeline on it because this thing has had the cadence that it's going to take. But I feel tremendous about all that's occurred there.
Go back to the middle on our right side of the column.
How you doing, Commissioner? Cortland Griffin with 3-Point Conversion. You spoke about the ACC wanting a expanded college football playoff. Did that have any influence with you guys going to the 3-5-5 scheduling next year?
It did. It had an awful lot. I mean, again, when you talk about an expanded playoff, you'd like to crown your champion in a way that you have the 2 best teams in your conference playing for that championship game. And prior to the passing of the recent legislation, you had to go into divisions in order to have a championship game. And so now the ability for teams to line up in a singular division, for there to be an opportunity to play within that singular division 8 games, and then we'll crown the champion based on winning percentage. So it definitely had impetus for what we did.
Next question, we'll go 1 row in front.
From the Richmond Times-Dispatch. I'm curious, with the way the alliance kind of dissolved, you've used a lot of terms like the greater good, being in the same neighborhood. Do you feel like the other commissioners share your mindset or approach in that regard?
I do. I think we all understand we have a deeper responsibility than our own conference. Listen, I'm proud of the work that we did in the alliance. It was the Big Ten's decision to do what they do. That's not for me to judge. They did what they felt was the best interest of the conference, but we did some really significant things together over a period of 12 months, including legislation that we just talked about earlier in my remarks. So we have to continue to try to come together. Really look forward to working with Brett, new commissioner. I do want to say this. I'm remiss if I didn't spend just a moment thanking Bob Bowlesby, the commissioner of the Big 12, who's been a great friend and a mentor and somebody that I just think the world of, who just announced obviously his retirement maybe 6-8 months ago, but officially retires at the last month. I can say a lot of things about Bob Bowlesby, but Bob Bowlesby made college athletics better, and excited for he and Candy and their family to do what they're going to do in the next chapter. But I'm looking forward to working with Brett, just like I do with George, just like I do with Greg and with Kevin and all our FBS commissioners. And then I think we have a really nice group of 32 commissioners. So you're going to have to come together. We're going to have to continue to work together. And I'm optimistic about us being able to do that.
Next question in the very back on our right.
Right here, Commissioner. Brandon Marcello, 24/7 Sports. As wild as the last 12 months have been and the unexpected departures of big-time programs to other conferences, how confident are you that you will be able to maintain your current membership of all your schools in the ACC, that they will not defect? And also, is it important to reevaluate and potentially try to talk to Notre Dame about joining the conference in football to help strengthen the ACC going forward?
I love our 15 schools, and I'm confident in us staying together. That's all I've heard in all the calls that we've had. We want to work together to try to provide more resources to our student athletes, so we're all on the same page. I sat here a year ago talking about Notre Dame, and whenever I've been asked the question, we continue to remain close with Notre Dame. They know how we feel. They know that we would love to have them as a football member in the conference, but I also respect their independence. Having worked there, having 2 children there, going to school right now, one a student athlete, I know what independence means to Notre Dame. So you respect it, and I know that if there comes a time that Notre Dame would consider moving to a conference and away from independence, I feel really good about it being the ACC.
Take our next question right here from the very front row.
Just to go a little bit further on that, you've been talking about expansion, and you said that everything's on the table. There's all options. So are you having those ongoing conversations with teams across the country? And is this something that you're really heavily looking at in an expansion of membership, seeing what the Big 12, the Big 10, and the SEC have already done in the last 12 months?
I'm not going to talk about any of the details about who we have or haven't talked about, but we've had lots of really good discussions within the ACC. And I think you have to be thoughtful. You got to be smart. You got to be strategic. Making a move just to make a move doesn't make any sense. And in the end, what is the value that ends up coming back to the conference if we were to expand? And all of those things have to be under great scrutiny and dialogue, and ultimately some kind of formation of what we think is best.
Next question in the back, middle aisle to our left.
David Teal with the Richmond Times-Dispatch over here. It has been suggested by some, including some administrators in your own league, that the ACC look at its revenue distribution formula. Are there discussions ongoing about rewarding performance and brand value when it comes to distributing revenue among the league members?
David, I would go back to what I said earlier and been asked. All options are on the table. And so when you look at revenue, you look at closing the gap, you look at generating more, you look at distribution, it all is part of a similar conversation.
Going to take our next question from the third row on the right-hand side.
Royal Howell, Carolina Blitz. Commissioner, you mentioned fair regulation of the NIL and it differing from state to state. What are your personal thoughts on a player having his money regulated off his own image and likeness? What are your personal thoughts on it? Can you just elaborate on that, please?
I think every administrator in the country believes the ability for student athletes to monetize their name, image, and likeness. That was a good movement a year ago, but it has rocked our college athletics world. And we all have kind of vowed to stay within a certain boundaries as it relates to rules and regulations. This is one that doesn't have any right now. So that's where the bumpiness has come into. And that's where the uneasiness that I certainly feel within our conference, and I know other commissioners feel in their conferences. So we really, really need some help in Washington. And that's a tough place to be. America's got a lot of issues going on right now. I'm not sure that that's a priority for our lawmakers. But I will say we have been engaged with quite a few congressmen and women and senators on both sides of the aisle. And I feel like we're creating at least a little bit of momentum here. And you know, we all hope that something can occur over the next 6, 8, 10 months where there is something adopted that we could all abide by across the college athletics universe.
We're going to take our next question in the back row on our right.
Mr. Commissioner, Pete Ganity from WSPA TV in Spartanburg.
I'm sorry, I'm not located on you.
Straight back.
Okay, sorry, thank you.
Right, that's okay. Just two questions. Based on your confidence that you can keep your current membership together and the conversations you've had with the presidents, does this mean you're also confident the grant of rights will not be challenged, as has been speculated by many over the past couple of weeks? And then secondly, in the next few years, of course, media rights are coming to an end. There will be negotiations. We've heard a lot about Fox and ESPN. Do you sense another network or networks being involved in the conversation with the ACC in some way?
So I can just go by what history has told us with the grant of rights, including in current times. People talked about Oklahoma and Texas leaving immediately. I think that's pretty well stated now that that's not the case. They're going to wait until their grants of rights is over. Listening to UCLA and USC at the end of June 30th, and subsequent days after, they clearly are going to stay in the Pac-12 until their grant of rights is over. So, I mean, you can follow the logic there. I would think that the significance of what that would mean, the television rights that the conference owns, as well as a 9-figure financial penalty, I think it holds, but your guess is as good as mine. As it relates to TV partners, I don't want to speculate about what anyone else has done. We have a deep relationship with ESPN, a valuable relationship. And they're the ones that created the network with us. They're the ones that we partnered with, and give so much credit to Commissioner Swafford for all of his work. We'll stay close because in the end, it has to add value to your conference. And you can define value in different ways. You can define value from an academic standpoint. You can define value about athletic success and competitiveness. Are they an AAU research institution? And you can also define it by money. And does it have value to your conference? Would it have value to your conference? It's the same exercise that I think has been going on for college athletics for a long, long time. Hope that answers your question.
Go next to our left in the middle section.
Joe Giglio from WRAL. How are you, Jim? Your sincerity and the belief in the collegiate model is obvious. I don't think anyone can question that. But in fairness to you, we are going to be critical of that because it does seem a bit old-fashioned. Do you think this attitude still works in 2022 and that it'll still work in the next 5 to 10 years for the ACC as you get lapped financially by the Big Ten and the SEC?
We owe it to those kids, Joe. This is no time to be waving a white flag on that. And I'm not trying to be Pollyannish about it because I live in the real world in the real time just like all of us do, and times change and move. But for us to ignore the affordability and access and opportunity that it provides to young people, I think that would be a huge mistake, huge mistake. And I'm okay with living in different neighborhoods. That's not my point about you got to be in the gated community. My point is the community is best when all neighborhoods are healthy, all of them. Some will never reach $25 or $30 million in revenue to provide for their athletics department. But that doesn't mean they don't deserve to be a part of it, to part of the system, part of championships at times. And we're talking about different levels within Division I. We're talking about subdivisions and all of those kinds of things in the transformation committee. But if we take that path, that it's only going to be about football and basketball, that's shame on all of us. It just is. And I understand the criticism that comes with that, and that's okay. I think it's up for public debate and opinion about what's right. And I understand about getting lapped. I do. I get it. I've been in those conferences. I worked in the Big 12 or Big 10 for 12 years. I was in the SEC, but I was also in the Mid-American Conference. And I know what those kids did at Northern Illinois. The only thing that was different was the name on the jersey and the colors. They were just as committed to having a great experience as those coaches were just as committed. It was a situation where I left Notre Dame to go to Northern Illinois. I'll digress a little bit. I had people tell me, why are you leaving Notre Dame to go to Northern Illinois? You're leaving, the brightest of all bright lights for a directional school. It's my first AD job. I started to question it before I took the job. Like, did I just make the right move? I'm having like 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Can't believe Northern Illinois. Is that where is that? Northern Illinois? I was on campus for about 3 hours, and I knew I exactly made the right decision. So the neighborhoods look different, but are we going to really try to do what we can to keep the community healthy? And that's a question we'll all have to answer.
We're going to take one last question, which is over here on the aisle, shortly off to our left.
Commissioner Tony Siracusa from Last Word on Sports. With regards to the grant of rights, you just referenced UCLA, USC, Oklahoma, and Texas. Due respect, Commissioner, they had 2 to 3 years left on the grant of rights. The grant of rights here lasts another 14 years. Do you really anticipate the conference and the university standing pat for that long?
Everything's on the table. We understand what that means. We understand what that revenue means moving forward. But I will also say, as I look at the next few years, I like where we're going. But again, the window's through 36. So we're going to have to address it, no question. And your point's a good one. Your point's a good one.
That's going to conclude the formal part of today's Commissioners Forum. We're going to flip this room. Our first team will be in here at 10:45. And so we appreciate all of you joining us today. Thank you.
Thanks again. Thanks for being here. Look forward to seeing you over the next couple days.
All right, that was ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips touching on just really a lot of things that I think people had anticipated hearing from him. College football playoff expansion, his stance and the ACC stance on that, as well as the changing landscape in college football, the confidence that he has in the 15 schools that are part of the ACC right now, and also touched on Notre Dame, saying that if it came to a time where Notre Dame wanted to move away from being independent, then he felt good about the move being the ACC. Also, lots of questions surrounding the grant of rights and revenue sharing, which we will get to in just a second as we continue to break down what we heard from Commissioner Phillips and what we expect. And what we also expect here at ACC Kickoff is a lot of great players and coaches taking the stage shortly. Malik Cunningham going to be joining us in just a little while. But on the other side of this break, we've got Andrea Adelson and David Hale joining me to break down what we heard from the commissioner. We'll get their reaction as ACC Kickoff here in Charlotte continues.
If you love hard-boiled eggs but hate watching water boil, then tediously peeling off shells, you need Egg Pod, a new kind of microwave egg cooker.
Make it rain! Make it rain!
When you're in pain, attorney Phil Rich makes it rain. Growing up in Louisville's Portland community, this Trinity and University of Louisville graduate knows how to fight for you. Whether you were injured in an accident or hurt on the job, Phil Rich specializes in personal injury, auto accidents, and workers' comp claims. Don't settle for less. Go with someone from this city. Remember, when you're in pain, Phil Rich makes it rain.
He makes it rain! It's raining! He's from Portland!
This is an advertisement.
For the 50 days leading up to our first broadcast of Louisville Cardinals football, we're looking back at 50 great moments in Cards football history. Brought to you by Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Louisville football's first ever college game day in 2016 saw the number 10 Cards blow out the number 2 Florida State Seminoles 63-20, led by an electrifying performance by Lamar Jackson.
They're in Knoll territory at the 47. Here's that. He doesn't get it. Jackson off and flying. Jackson dips by a defender, scoots ahead to the 5, spins, touchdown. He stayed upright as he dodged and spun and whirled and faked guys all over the field.
The Cards moved up to number 3 in the nation following the win.
This great moment in Cards football history is brought to you by Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Yeah, it's that good. Fairnose pizza. Good taste, happy face, your place, my place. What's gonna make you happy? It's the sign I see on your face.
UPS is hiring day sort warehouse workers in our Louisville, Kentucky hub. Our warehouses are team settings where everyone truly has each other's backs, and we work together to deliver what matters to customers and communities. We're paying $20 an hour and offer great benefits, including up to $25,000 in tuition assistance. Eligibility begins the day you're hired. Shift your future, shift your team, shift your life. Visit upsjobs.com to apply. That's upsjobs.com. Make the shift, make a difference.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold craft, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
I'm attorney Darrell Isaacs, the Hammer. If a car accident has left you with a concussion or memory loss, you could be suffering from a traumatic brain injury. Just click to get help quick, so we can help you get the medical attention you deserve. Go to WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
We're in the thick of summer, and with the hottest days of the year ahead, you are about to find out how strong your cooling system is. And if you find out that it's not ready for the long summer, then call DFH Company today at 968-6222. Right now, when you buy a qualified Trane HVAC system, receive 18 months special financing. It's hard to stop a train, so call DFH 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all.
I'm going to take the L on that. I'm going to take the L. There was one ball kicked to me all game, and it resulted in 4 runs.
The great pleasure of
It was terrible.
wanted to take a moment
Just misjudged it.
at Fitness Market.
And then I think Steve and I, did we both get on base twice? I know I went 2 for 2. I went 2 for 2. You got on base too, right? Yeah.
Has been in Louisville for over 20 years. When Julie and I walked into their store, we were treated like family. And that is exactly what Fitness Market is, a local family business. The Whiters and their team truly care about their customers, and they want them to succeed in their personal fitness goals. The team at Fitness Market has helped us create an amazing workout room in our home, and we couldn't be happier with our purchase. So when you are ready to add to your home gym, do what Julie and I did. Go see the winning team at Fitness Market.
So visit Fitness Market, 2 locations, Westport Road, just inside the Snyder, or Plantside Drive and Watterson Trail, or online at thefitnessmarket.com.
Please leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's fun. Remember me? Miss you, buddy. Look, I know it's been a minute, but we gotta get the fan back down to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They've got 3 of the top 5 water coasters in the world. Remember getting soaked on Mammoth and Cheetah Chase? Or screaming down monster roller coasters like Thunderbird and Voyage? Tickets are still at holidayworld.com. Oh, the kids want to say something. Go ahead.
ESPN Louisville is your flagship for Louisville City FC.
Ownby's header is a terrific header. Oh, my goodness. It's Ownby at the double, his 2nd goal tonight, and he puts Louisville City into the lead.
The boys in purple are back in action tonight as they host Rising Phoenix FC. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:45 with kickoff at 7 on ESPN 680, 105.7, 93.9 The Ville, and the ESPN Louisville app. If it's Lou City, it plays here on ESPN Louisville.
What a difference a few months can make. Come have a beer, bourbon, or a glass of wine at Great Flood Brewing. As weather warms up, walk on up and enjoy our patio and friendly staff as we welcome what will be one of the most exciting off seasons to basketball and football. We are proud partners of ESPN Louisville and can't wait to serve you. 2 area locations, Great Flood Highlands and Great Flood Middletown. Online, greatfloodbrewing.com.
Miss anything for your favorite shows? Head over to the GE Appliances Podcast Center on ESPNLouisville.com.
Hey, Cards fans, do you or a loved one suffer from gout? Gout is a very painful form of arthritis that can also lead to kidney and heart disease. I bet you didn't know there's now a Gout Center of Excellence right here in Louisville. They use the most up-to-date clinical guidelines and FDA-approved treatments to get you relief fast. If you have gout, be sure to call the Gout Center of Excellence at 502-719-2472 or visit them online at ralouisville.com. And be sure to tell them Marcus sent you.
This is Lamar Jackson, and you're listening to the home of the Ravens in Louisville, 93.9 The Ville.
Update your outdoor living spaces with help from Menards. Get years of low-maintenance performance with dual-sided rubber pavers from Lasting Beauty. They only take minutes to install and bring new life to your old patios, decks, and floors. Hurry in and pick some up for just $4.44 each after 11% off. Now at Menards. Price good through July 24th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Download the ESPN Louisville app. Search ESPN Louisville for streaming, podcasts, and the latest program schedule.
Looking for a job or career change or looking to hire? Many companies need to hire right now. Let ESPN Louisville help you. We can help businesses who want to hire and help you in your job search. Go to the Contact Us page at espnlouisville.com and click on the Job Connections tab. The ESPN Louisville Job Connections Program, connecting you with your next hire and your next career.
Come gather around, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the world is
so we can start the show. Anything. Call in 10 minutes and say I Oh, we dispose our foes.
Show me my hand on my gun, cause they got me on the run. Now I'm back in the courtroom.
There we
waiting
go.
on the
We're back.
Sleepy.
One we use here at the 93.9 studios for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222, or you can look them up online at dfhcompany.com.
Also, it's Wednesday, which means thanks to Jason and his team for bringing about lunch to the ESPN Louisville studios.
7, 6.
It's Which Wednesday.
5, 4.
Be sure to get carry out,
3,
curbside, or
2,
delivery from the Hearst
I got hit with an
Brownsboro
ad.
Crossing.
Doesn't count.
Location for lunch, dinner, or your pool parties. Fully staffed, open 7 days a week with both locations. Order online or the Which app. Which superior sandwiches.
I almost came back with the song The Sandwich Rap. It was by some guy named Dan Antipowski. I had a feeling you'd probably beat me up.
No, you should have done that.
No, I shouldn't have done that.
You should have done that.
Okay, Steve.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. The listeners that are here joining us right now, they got all the conference information they needed.
I think so.
Out of the conference commissioner,
yeah,
and the ACC opening media day stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were joined at the beginning of the show, you got some very important information from Steve Rummage. If you were just joining the show at normal time, you'll have to pardon me for I'm gonna repeat the point that Steve was making. So, Steve,
yes,
the topics as of late, right, have been conference realignment.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I lectured. I was agitated. This is something that I'm often agitated about. Yes. Everybody knows this about me. So, in some ways, you get consistency and predictability when it comes to Marcus Maben and overreaction. One announcement of 2 schools and the conversation around the entire Louisville market was the demise of the ACC, the demise and Steve, imminent demise.
Oh, absolutely.
Imminent demise. It's over. Louisville's left out. Louisville's not a big enough school to do anything. The conferences, super conference, super league, Louisville's out. Can you imagine 2 teams change conferences, Steve, and you have hour after hour after hour of radio and media and Twitter coverage of the demise of the University of Louisville off of 2 teams joining a conference.
Yeah.
They had Notre Dame in the Big Ten. Wasn't true. Or they had Notre Dame doing either ACC, Big Ten, SEC. They had Notre Dame leaving. They had Louisville making partnerships with the Pac-12.
Absolutely.
They had, what market is going to join the AC? They had buying out of the ACC contract. Just everything, Steve, off of an announcement of 2. Say, I know that content is king or whatever.
Yep.
But this is like lazy content, in my opinion. I mean, professional doomsday seekers.
Sure.
Right. And again, I got no problem with a little speculation,
Absolutely.
Hey, what could this, down the road? But here's the thing, Steve. You have to give the disclaimer. Hey, we're just going to speculate. We're going to take our time and like you and I do it, hypotheticals.
Yep.
But we make it clear, hey, this is a hypothetical, what if the universal, like that kind of stuff. Not this is going to happen, this is coming, this is terror, this is doomsday, boom, boom, boom.
Absolutely.
It pissed me off, to be honest. It did. The conference realignment discussion.
Yeah.
Now, in the radio world, that overreaction doomsday stuff, I don't like it. Now, there's not much that can make me angrier. Not much in the media world. But I do have something, Steve, that can make me angrier.
Okay. I know what it is.
And it just happened.
Okay.
Okay. Last week, 2 weeks ago. Okay, Steve, I'm going to break our circle of trust for a second.
Okay. Let's do it.
And this is just one you're going to have to give me a pass on. This is like, take something you've done to me, Steve, that you shouldn't have done, right? And just say, okay, this is Marcus getting me back. Because I'm going to drag you into this doldrum of breaking our circle of trust.
Let's do it.
Steve, you and I both made this statement to each other. I can't wait to cheer for another fan base or cheer for another school.
We did.
Now, I'm sorry, Steve. I know I shouldn't have said that publicly.
We did.
But you and I, and here's the thing, Steve. Out of all the mean things we've said at games, out of all the things, listen, when we've been on the phone talking about our players that we love, our coaches that we love, we've said a lot of mean things.
Yeah.
And we both knew we didn't mean those things the moment the game ended.
Sure.
That conversation, those group of conversations that we had when I said, I can't wait to the day I finally cheer against the University of Louisville because of what y'all did. We watched the #1 point guard in the nation. We've watched his recruitment for years, Steve. We have been doing the hypothetical Kenny Payne returns to the University of Louisville for 3 years.
Yeah.
And in 3 years, Steve, we have given the roadmap. Hey, we get Kenny Payne here. We're instantly in on a couple of 5 stars that are up there in Camden.
Yeah.
We got 5 stars that are in there with purpose. 3 years ago, Steve.
Yep.
When Kenny Payne left Kentucky, we started giving the roadmap to get him back here.
Yep.
Okay. We've not heard from DJ Wagner 3 times in 3 years.
No, probably the quietest big time recruitment ever
in the history.
Yeah.
You know why, Steve? Because it doesn't benefit DJ Wagner to tip his hand in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Other than making a couple of fans in Louisville to give them another pivot to find a new way to hate on Kenny Payne, it does not benefit him to share the level of interest of a recruit.
Right.
I thought we understood this as a fan base. I thought this is something you have to accept, that there's a reason he is who he is in the basketball world.
Yeah.
It's a reason all of these national media saying home run hire Kenny Payne. There's a reason we haven't heard. Milt Wagner doesn't talk. 5 years ago, Steve, Milt Wagner sat in the 93.9 studios talking about his grandson in 7th, 8th grade or something.
Yeah.
Hey, man, maybe. You got another one coming on up? He guaranteed going to be #1 point guard when he comes out. This thing's been in play for so long, y'all.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything. And in a matter of 10 days, Steve, we've had a fan base, social media revolt on Kenny Payne over his lack of his lack of DJ Wagner.
Yeah.
Of even recruiting DJ Wagner because he didn't go to Spain. And here's the problem, Steve. All we asked is one question. Did DJ say that? Okay, so where is this coming from? Okay, two people with the exact same phrasing, cloudy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve, some information comes out.
Yeah.
Can you re-rack the information?
And it's like, man, like it was kind of like, wait a minute now. It feels like that this should use some common sense, and whether it's I mean, we've been called it all. People come and go, whether it's propaganda, Kool-Aid, you name it. You're
whatever stupid cliche phrase
you're going to mock us, and we'll still be here when you're not. Okay, fine. Let's move on. Okay, so today, 247, Travis Branham. Not going to read his whole article. It's behind a paywall. I'll give you a couple of snippets. Now, this is DJ Wagner, who, what did On 3 say? Was a lock to Louisville, then 95% Kentucky. Commitment coming. We're going to talk about another commitment coming, too. Commitment coming. Everybody's, oh, man, On 3 says it's going down, you know? Okay. From Travis Branham. Disregard anything you may have heard that didn't come from DJ Wagner in the last 3 weeks. DJ Wagner said no.
Wait. You better press mark. You better mark that. You're gonna sit back there like that's not something to mark, Steve.
Yeah.
I watch Nikki mark every single anti-Louisville story that you ever come up. You better mark that damn audio. Keep going, Steve.
Yeah. Nick. No, I'm not committing anytime this week.
Is that a quote?
DJ Wagner said of the rumors suggesting that he might.
No, not might. 95%. PCM, let's go. Boom, this week. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Now, again, I'm not going to read a bunch of the stuff. This is all his thing. But on his recruitment, he says, no, there hasn't been anything major or serious that has changed. He said he's taking his time with the decision, making process, and plans to take more visits. Which I said, that's one I was like, none of this makes sense. He may go to Kentucky, but he's not visiting Louisville. Like, we understand that, right? And if he does commit to Kentucky, and this is what I tweeted out last week, he'll still visit Louisville. The kid's visiting Louisville. All right. Now I'm going to leave it here because I don't want the rest of it. You have to read 247. On Kentucky, DJ Wagner says, it's a great program. I'm a fan of college basketball, so that's a great program. And I have known that program all of my life. On Louisville, DJ Wagner says, it's the same relationship as before with Kenny Payne. That's like family. That's good people. He's like family. I've known him all of my life. So it's just the same that it has always been. He really just wants me to make the best decision for myself and enjoy this process. That's all I'll read from that article.
Do you hear how stupid your Kenny Payne, DJ Wagner recruitment conversation crap sounds at this moment? Repeat. Do you hear how stupid your Kenny Payne, DJ Wagner recruitment narrative sound? And I don't like using words like stupid. Okay? So I apologize if you feel I'm talking directly to you, if it hurts your feelings. But I am being honest to my fan base, to my listeners of 93.9 The Ville. It sounded stupid then, and it sounds extra stupid now. 247, thank you for that. Thank you for that clarity. Disregard anything you've heard out of the last 3 weeks if it didn't come. And here's the thing, Steve, we knew it didn't come from DJ Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, the first question we asked is, did that come from DJ Wagner?
Right.
We felt like it, whatever. We're not saying somebody intentionally lied, but somebody intentionally lied. You just lied on him. You lied on his name. And nobody even thought context. Nobody even thought who benefits. Nobody thought about anything but get the story out and bombard Kenny Payne. So we saw what you wanted. You got the narrative you wanted. You made it up on your own and you attached that to Kenny Payne. So over the last 3 weeks, if I were you, I'd be deleting my Twitter like crazy. Because a lot of y'all expose yourselves in a major way. You expose yourself. And for you to cause, it's your fault that Steve and I had a conversation about what you deserve. If that's what you did with the Kenny Payne, DJ Wagner thing, what you deserve as a fan. And I wasn't happy about it. I was not happy about the things I felt like the Louisville, and again, I'm to the point where if you're quiet on this, if you're on these message boards, social media, and you're quiet on this, you might be just as much of a problem as anybody else. I'll take our last commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maven. Did you hear that tapping in the background all the time? My pins were tapping, sorry. 93.9 The Ville.
Imagine your bright career when you join the U of L Health team. Now, imagine receiving free tuition to the University of Louisville. At U of L Health, we believe in investing in you and the power of education. So now, your U of L Health family has college tuition covered for all employees and their families. Just imagine the possibilities. For details, visit uoflhealth.org/imagine. That's the power of you.
Lanning Paints is truly Louisville's hometown paint manufacturer. We create architectural coatings for homes and ship our industrial and commercial products across the United States and even across the world. I am Aaron Lanning, and I am lucky enough to work alongside my father, Nick, who is our chemist and brainchild for our local brand. He is working daily to formulate finishes and coatings that will beautify your interior walls, basement and garage floors, driveways, fences, siding, brick, and more. Visit lanningpaint.com to learn more about us or call us at 245-0630 to reach our Middletown location or 612-2138 for Dixie Highway, where we proudly offer a full array of Benjamin Moore products. Lanning Paints, painting the USA from Louisville, Kentucky since 1983.
With interest rates and gas prices creating so much uncertainty, there's one thing that you know you can rely on, and that's the roof over your home. At Carlin Roofing and Sheet Metal, they understand that now might be the time for you to look at that roof and decide to get that work done that you've been putting off. Carlin replaced my roof a few years ago, and I can speak firsthand to the quality and efficiency of their work. Carlin Roofing and Sheet Metal also has financing options. Look them up online at carlinroofs.com. That's CARLONroofs.com or 458-9898.
For the 50 days leading up to our first broadcast of Louisville Cardinals football, we're looking back at 50 great moments in Cards football history. Brought to you by Kroger, fresh for everyone.
In 2021, the Cards traveled to Durham and throttled the Duke Blue Devils 62-22.
Cunningham with the back next to him, motions the receiver again, doesn't hand it to Mitchell, keeps it, turns it up the middle, now runs right along the 35, dodges a tackler at the 40, pulls out of his grasp, runs to the 45, now to the 50, and down the sideline, and he may be gone. Cunningham to the 20, Cunningham to the 10, and just trots into the end zone for another electrifying 72-yard touchdown.
Malik Cunningham joined Washington's Marcus Tuiasosopo as the second quarterback ever to throw for 300 yards and rush for 200 yards in a college football game.
This great moment in Cards football history is brought to you by Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Hey, Cards fans. Do you or a loved one suffer from gout? Gout is a very painful form of arthritis that can also lead to kidney and heart disease. I bet you didn't know there's now a Gout Center of Excellence right here in Louisville. They use the most up-to-date clinical guidelines and FDA-approved treatments to get you relief fast. If you have gout, be sure to call the Gout Center of Excellence at 502-719-2472 or visit them online at ralouisville.com. And be sure to tell them Marcus sent you.
Spring is upon us, and that means change. But one thing that shouldn't change is who you call for all your home buying and selling needs. Call Josh Jarbo. Josh is a licensed realtor and the broker owner of RE/MAX Alliance. And this spring, he wants to make your home buying and selling process as efficient as possible by offering a guaranteed sale program and instant offers on commercial listings. And if that wasn't enough, up to a $5,000 seller's credit by mentioning you heard it right here. And if you're looking for financing, Josh can cover that too. His new mortgage brokerage, Motto Mortgage A to Z, has licensed loan originators that can take care of all your financing needs. So don't wait any longer. Contact Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or Josh Jarbo at remax.net.
Each office is independently owned and operated. NMLS number 2256125.
If you want the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits, go to Liquor Barn. Or better yet, have Liquor Barn bring it to you. Download the Liquor Barn app, visit liquorbarn.com, or call your local Liquor Barn store to schedule your pickup or delivery to get what you need to stock the bar. If it's your birthday month, make sure to visit liquorbarn.com for the Pappy Birthday promotion, where you might win an opportunity to purchase a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. Liquor Barn can help you bring the celebration to your cookout, tailgate, or game watch party. Liquor Barn, where Kentuckians go to celebrate life.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
Here's what you missed on the Diener Show.
A Roomba? Okay, I've got one.
Because we had one, and then...
and mine's, I think, an early generation Roomba. I don't know how good it is. Now, the mop one is really good. This one gets stuck all the time. I get the notification. I call her Juanita. So Juanita's stuck.
I don't think I have a Juanita in my life. I think I'd like to meet a Juanita.
Weekday morning, 7 to 10 on 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680 and 105.7. Your
better
3-9 The Ville, powered by Isaacs and Isaacs.
Thanks for asking.
WeWin.com.
In a world where human interaction seems to be reduced to chats and clicks and emails, where transactions are measured only by speed, where corporate policies overrule common sense, sometimes you just want to go old school. Welcome to Genesis Diamonds, a refreshing experience where personal relationships and authentic interaction are the norm, not the exception. At Genesis, you're here celebrating something awesome in your life, and we want to know all about it. We want to hear your story, listen to your requests, and be a meaningful part of whatever occasion this is. A proposal, an anniversary, a birthday, graduation, push gift.
Completely forgot to mention that.
It's important to us, so we don't care how long it takes. We're not paid on commission, and we're not beholden to some corporate rule book. We just want to help you get what you want to make it into a special memory. So take a break from modern shopping and go old school with us at Genesis. Let's start a real relationship that you can count on for life. Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza.
This is Sports Center.
Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Shelbyville Road Plaza.
This is Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Nick Falvano, the Sports Center update brought to you by U of L Health. Make the impossible possible. That's the power of you.
Is Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Nick Falvano, the Sports Center update brought to you by U of L Health. Make the impossible possible. You know what? The hell with it. We're going to redo that one.
Download the ESPN Louisville app. Search ESPN Louisville for streaming, podcasts, and the latest program schedule.
This is Sports Center.
Gotta love the dump button. Good afternoon. I'm Nick Falvano, the Sports Center update brought to you by U of L Health. Make the impossible possible. That's the power of you. ACC Media Days this week. You're hearing all the press conferences right here on ESPN Louisville this morning. Scott Satterfield joined Drew Diener live from ACC Media Days, talked about a litany of topics, including the increased offensive play from his defensive line.
Think about Ashton and Yaya. I mean, they're up 275, 280 now. Going to be able to, bigger, stronger, set the edge. Lolay's a, 315-pound nose there. That's strong. I don't know if you saw on the internet the other day. He's squatting 600 pounds, and he's a man. I mean, extremely strong. So yeah, another year under the belt for those young guys, and it continue to depth because we like to rotate. We want to keep those guys fresh. So that's certainly going to help.
Scott Satterfield talking about his defensive line with Drew Diener this morning. He'll meet the media with ACC Media Days on the ACC Network at 12:15. We'll take that live on the V Show on all ESPN Louisville Sticks, 680, 105.7, as well as 93.9. The Bill. Some scores last night. All-Star game heard right here on ESPN Louisville, courtesy of our friends at Smash Zone Baseball. You heard the AL beat the NL 3-2 for their 9th straight victory in the All-Star game. Giancarlo Stanton, your MVP of that one. And wrapping up on the pitch, Lou City tonight hosting Phoenix Rising FC. 6:45. That can be heard on all ESPN Louisville Sticks. We're middays with Marcus Baben. Next, I'm going to go crawl under a rock. This is Sports Center.
Hey, it's Andy Sweeney. You know I love a summer cocktail, and all summer cocktails have one common ingredient. They all started with a trip to Cox's Spirit Shop and Evergreen Liquors. If you've got a recipe for fun, we're the place to help you get it done. All your favorite spirits and all the flavors you need to make it right. Plus, the largest selection of beers, hard seltzers, wines, and much more. For everything you need, including refills, you know where to go. It's Cox's and Evergreen Liquors, Louisville's go-to liquor store.
You're listening to 93.9 The Ville, powered by Isaacs and Isaacs Injury Lawyers. WeWin.com.
I got
Waka Flocka.
Y'all it for me. Bottle key popping that water man.
Turn it off. Devon Jones. No. Devon Jones. Nah, Nick got to be investigated for treason. What did you just come back with, Nikki?
Waka Flocka Flame.
Isn't that jackass song that they play at Kroger Field like at nauseum?
You know that, Nikki.
It's a party.
Nikki.
I was trying to.
Don't give me that.
Oh, man,
Right.
nothing.
Look at them, baby. They're all down there dancing around the kickoff thing. Isn't that cool? Let's clap.
Hey, honey. Hey, how would I look if I got a bunch of dreadlockers?
Started shaking my rear end and bouncing around. Play that song again.
You knew exactly.
No,
what you were
I
doing,
didn't.
Nikki.
I completely forgot. That's
you
their
knew exactly
freaking
what
pump
you were
up
doing.
beat.
You didn't forget that.
And I covered them 2 years ago.
Oh, now we're getting to the
now we're getting to the
meat and potatoes. Okay. Well, anyways, not that one. Let's never do that again. Never. Thank you. I'm not gonna crush you over that one.
No, I deserve to be crushed. That
But
was
let's not
You
ever.
realize this is middays on 93.9 The Ville.
Well, I'm just gonna play the hype songs from. I'll play Enter Sandman next for Vatek. God. I'll play Rocky Top, Tennessee.
So here's the problem.
Country Road, West Virginia.
We can always play Rocky Top.
I know, right? Actually,
Steve's like slow. Wait a minute.
There might be some more of that playing.
I know.
In my world. So Steve talked about the DJ Wagner situation. Okay. We talked about how I won't use the word stupid anymore.
Yeah.
We talked about how uninformed people look. We talked about how your Kenny Payne fake narrative You know what I'm saying? How bad you looked trying to run with that, right? You read a couple of quotes of DJ Wagner. Absolutely nothing has changed. When talking about Kentucky, I'm a fan of basketball. Of course, Kentucky's awesome. I'm a fan of basketball. When asked about Kenny Payne and the Louisville situation, man, that's my family, dude. Nothing is different. Nothing has changed. Kenny wants me to do the best for me. That's what I know him since I've been born.
Yeah.
Since I've been born. That's my family. Okay.
I'm comfortable making any decision.
Yeah.
And talking to Kenny Payne.
Yes. But
and if I choose Kentucky, I'll probably still talk to Kenny Payne. Like that's what he's saying.
I'm gonna be in Louisville every weekend anyway. With Kenny.
Sure.
Okay, Steve. And the moment I don't like being in Kentucky, I'm transferring to Louisville anyway. I know.
Yeah.
Steve,
let's
have fun.
Play second half the season.
Okay, so Steve. There's another recruit that we said 3 years ago. You get Kenny Payne, we'll be in on this kid too. And we might not get him.
Right.
But we're gonna be in at the finish line with another kid. Aaron Bradshaw.
Aaron Bradshaw chatted with 247.
Aaron Bradshaw, likely Kentucky commit, whatever. Chatted with 247.
Yeah.
You got any interesting quotes from Aaron Bradshaw?
Yeah,
Steve?
he is. And just a little update on Aaron Bradshaw, because I think people want to know. He was the one that was an imminent commitment to Kentucky.
Yep.
Didn't happen
because he said
he wanted to make sure he
was making the right choice.
Now, we'll say the G League is very much a possibility. He talks about them in the article. You can read that. He's wanting to now visit Texas and UCLA as well.
Okay.
Very much in the conversation. He talks about them in the article.
Okay. You can go behind the paper. Go read it.
I'm not going to read all Travis's stuff here. But on Kentucky, Aaron Bradshaw, what stood out to me was the coaching. I really love how Coach Cal does his workouts. It's my type of workouts, like fast-paced, intensity is high. Now, remember, listen to all this. This is important for what I'm going to read next. It's the type of workout like fast-paced, intensity is high, hard work, and just getting after it. And it shows on the court. There's a reason I wanted you to hear that.
That was his opinion on Cal's practices and the Kentucky program.
Now on Louisville, and I'm reading the quote verbatim. It's literally the exact same thing as Kentucky. But what Kenny Payne does is he brings the reality out of players. You're not going to be dribbling the ball your entire life. And he brings reality like basketball and in life after basketball. That's what caught me.
So it's like Kentucky.
It's exactly like Kentucky.
Only better.
Except you feel
like he cares.
Yeah.
About your real life.
Which, by the way, On 3 put out an article 30 minutes ago. Kentucky reaches out to 5-star point guard Isaiah Collier. Look, and then
let me get to the dream school.
Put eyeballs in a kitty cat emoji. Because y'all blatantly lied last week on the DJ Wagner recruitment. Okay? Now
I don't want to accuse you of lying. I don't want to accuse you of lying.
Story,
it looks like it.
Now the story comes out like this, and now the DJ Wagner comes out. So guess what? Now On 3's like, oh well actually, Kentucky is looking at another 5-star point guard in that class. Because that's Collier's the same class. Actually, they're not really. They're not. Hurry up, Joe. Write something. Somebody put together an edit. They're not really looking at
only DJ Wagner.
Only DJ Wagner. Now they really want Isaiah Collier to compare with Rob Dillingham. Even though, and then they're looking. They're like,
and Reed Shepherd.
What did Rob Dillingham just say? Oh, Rob Dillingham just told 247 he wants DJ Wagner to play with him. Oh, God. Somebody get a microphone in his face down there for on 3. But you would play with Isaiah Carter too, right?
Phones.
Let's just relax. Oh, our thing's not on. Sorry. Oh.
Who do we have?
Oh, wait a minute. No.
Doc dropped off. I'm in your ear.
Oh, no. You're telling us to look at our phones. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go to Malik Williams or Malik Cunningham in 8 minutes.
Yeah, he'll be playing it out then.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's 8 minutes. Did you guys? Yeah, that's how long it was.
No, we're fine.
No, we're good.
You don't want it? Oh, okay.
No. We'll let. Yeah, Jim Phillips talked for 17 hours about nothing.
Okay. So that's what's going on in the media world around this. Okay, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
So this, like I said, it's not an attack. It's just saying.
It's kind of an attack from me.
From my perspective, it looks like their recruitment got lied on. At the very least, you lied on a young man's recruitment.
You can never prove that.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't want to say somebody lied. I mean, we'll see.
And listen, if somebody told you this and you just said, okay, I'm going to trust that information. That's like, okay, if Nikki told me something about the DJ Wagner recruitment, right? It's up to me to decide if I'm going to put it on my website and say, hey, but Nikki said it, so I trust him. Let me go with it. Confidential source. Nikki said DJ Wagner's 95% lock.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, technically, I did get that information. Technically, I just decided, I want to trust it. So it doesn't even matter what I put out. Okay? And so there's that, Steve. And Bradshaw. Again, people, Steve said this so y'all could hear it straight into your ears. The practices under Kentucky are exactly the same as Louisville and Kenny Payne. But Kenny Payne brings some additional realness to the situation, you know what I'm saying, to the relationship, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, Steve, my former coach, Coach Eves, was in practice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Was talking about practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coach Eves talked about what he saw in there. You want to know what they're doing on July 19th, Steve?
I'm listening.
They're working on running high-intensity transition basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the ball up the court fast without dribbling.
Mm-hmm.
Running your lanes full speed. Right? Running your lanes full speed. Getting out in transition full speed. Keeping the separation.
Because it took Kenny Payne all of one practice to go, y'all don't know how to run transition. One practice. Wait a minute. Time out. Stop.
No, and this is what happens. This
No, listen, I guess I should have said, no, we're saying this like this is what this really is what
according to
happened.
Coach Eves.
Yeah. It took Kenny Payne all of one. Thank you for stopping that, because it sounded like I was just saying hypothetically. It took Kenny Payne all of one practice to go, stop.
Everybody
stop. Yeah. Get in the film room. Y'all don't know how to run transition. And we're going to figure this out. Yeah. Sorry, I busted there.
There are 5 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
The point guard is in the middle. Whoever you are in the 2 or the 3 spot, if you're on the left side of the court, you find a sideline and you get up it as fast as you can. If you see somebody who's a wing and he's on the other side, I don't care if y'all on the same side. If he's ahead of you on this side, you find the other side of the court and you get up that sideline as fast as you can and you stay wide and you meet at the rim. You big men, the first one down there goes right under the basket if he's trailing. The last one is the trail man top of the key. And we got shooters trailing every single time.
Yeah.
That is a transition. Marcus Maben ad nauseum last year said, we're not getting dunks because we don't have a fundamental transition. One of my first original angries with Coach Mack was standing straight up. Jordan Ward was on his back foot. You know, all these players were on their back foot all the time. That was number one. Number two, they don't know how to run transition. That's why we don't get dunks. It's clumsy. That was the emergency. Marcus, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Okay. Now, I said, coach or player, somebody's not getting it. Mm-hmm. Assistant coaches, if nobody can stop this and see, hey, y'all don't have transition lanes. I mean, fundamental leg step one of basketball. So Coach Eve says, Kenny Payne stops. We go in the film room. I get on this board. I go lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. Y'all be in these lanes every time there's a turnover, there's anything. You run these lanes as hard as you can. Step 1, we're going to run a lot of transition. We're going to be stealing the ball. We're going to play fast, play intense. You're going to need to know. This is the first thing this is going to be 50 points worth. This is 50 points. In a tough game, this is 18 to 24 points of basketball that y'all are going to have to know. Stop practice. Film now. We come back out 15 minutes later. High intensity. Find your lanes. Let's work. Yeah. And no other coaches, no other instructions during my transition talk.
That was a big thing. That was a big thing that I heard coming out of that practice from that was Kenny Payne saying, for this moment, no other coaches need to do any instructing. This is me. I want them to hear my voice and my voice alone.
Yeah. Like brain programming on transition is so important that I don't want any other thought other than my 5 lanes. You know what I'm saying? So when I snatch you out the game, it's only my voice you hear. Mm-hmm. You know why? Listen, when you're jogging off the court, I don't have to look at you. Mm-hmm. I don't have to yell at you. I don't have to be mad at you. You can jog right beside me and sit your ass right on that bench.
Yeah.
For not doing the first thing we did in the first day of practice, learning our transition lanes.
Yeah, and I'll put somebody in here who will run transition lanes because it will work.
Last point.
Yep.
It's also why I don't need to know it all on my team.
Yeah.
This is why I don't need to know it all on my team.
Maybe Kenny Payne knows what he's doing. Maybe.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. Middays of Marcus, maybe on 93 Louisville.